Good evening, good morning, and good day. And thank you so much for once again choosing to spend a little bit of your time with me. As you can probably hear, I'm still ill, but this video cannot wait any longer. I recently made 2 videos discussing incels, and the reaction to both of them has been, for my channel, fairly huge. I've gotten a massive amount of views, an incredible amount of interaction on these. Thank you so much for all the likes and comments. It has been great chatting to you guys, hearing your own stories, and I just love it. It's awesome. I genuinely think we've got an incredibly strong community growing here. I don't want to sound like one of those weird YouTuber sort of people, but come on. I have a way better comment section than 99% of the people my size. Anyway, as well as good attention, these videos also garnered some negative attention from the incel community, who, to put it simply, they don't know me at all. They just don't know me. And the second they see any form of criticism or critique coming their way, they immediately see it as the world's worst form of insult, assume that you're a total dumbass Chad who knows nothing what he's talking about, and just proceed to angrily attack you. And I find this hilarious because they just don't know where I've come from. It's ridiculous. If I could have told the shortest, fattest kid in my year who got bullied every single day, beaten up one day on my birthday, instead of getting birthday beats for my 15th birthday, they decided to give me birthday nipple cripples, and they shoved me into one of the boys' changing rooms, and my entire classroom nipple crippled me till I was bleeding all down my chest. If I could have told that guy that people would be calling him a Chad, gosh. And also the fact that you guys think that I would even begin to find it happy if one of you were to go and do the unthinkable and kill yourselves, commit suicide. You don't know me. I have been suicidal for more than 20 years of my life. I have contemplated it and planned it and dreamed about it passionately on a daily basis for almost every single day of my life until recently when I got medicated. So to think that I would wish that upon anyone? No, I really fucking wouldn't. And I hate the fact that some of you are feeling suicidal and that you talk about it in such a positive way on your forums, and you basically encourage each other to do these things. And the way you talk about it using terminology like roping and stuff, it's so unhealthy and toxic to your mindset, and you need to change it. I hate that you guys feel this way about things. It's really genuinely upsetting to me. Anyway, being ill for the last 2 weeks, I have not had the energy to reply to the incels comments, and so I figured I would just do a video where I read them out and reply to them verbally. It will be much easier for all of us this way. If you're one of the self-proclaimed incels who left a comment on one of my previous videos, please stick about. You will get your response here. I will reply. And if any of you would ever be up for a debate or just a bloody conversation on Skype or something like that, then let me know, because I think that would, one, make some awesome content for myself, I'm not going to lie, and 2, just be fascinating. Maybe we could come to an understanding. I'm not going to Stephen Crowder you, you know. Dress well, hit the gym, and other insanely shitty advice by a man with a jaw that mogs me into oblivion and an eye area that makes mine look like hollowed out stones. Giving such useless advice to a 24-year-old virgin such as myself will surely stop me being an incel. And you've ignored 99% of the other advice in there, clearly, which is all about mindset. Yes, there are some simple things that I'm sure you could do to your appearance, as I had to do, and yes, it takes a lot of work to do those things. If you're completely ashamed of your jawline and hate it, grow a beard. If you can't grow a beard, wear scarves or something all the time. You can work it out. Dude, look at these guys. Go watch some old Jeremy Kyle. Look at these people. Some of these guys have impregnated and fornicated with so many women you could not believe. And they are the ugliest pieces of trash on earth. There is no reason that you should be calling yourself an incel unless you truly have like lost your genitalia in a horrific accident, unless you've been chemically castrated, you have no testicles, you have no penis. There is a physical reason you're paralyzed from the waist down. There's a physical reason you cannot have sex. That's the only time I can think of that you could legitimately call yourself an incel. Otherwise, there is always something you can do. It's not about finding girlfriend, it's about inequality. Women want 5% of males. Incel can change his physique, still not everybody because of the health problems, and still look not like you, and he then will find only a land whale, while a Chad with 2 prison sentences and a lot of experience can get the hottest girls 9 out of 10. Again, the issue here is your mindset. The fact that you're saying, oh, this guy can change his physique and then go score a land whale. Stop thinking about women in this manner. You're disgusting. That's your mindset that is letting you down there. So what you're saying is, yeah, there's no reason for any of you to be incels, again, unless there is a genetic reason, which I totally agree with. There's no reason for any of you to be incels, other than the fact that you're judgmental pricks, and you refuse to give something a chance because you think you're too good for it. So those comments were interesting, but now we get to my video on Caroline Flack. And if you thought some of the things I read out in that video were disgusting, then the dumpster fire that awaits is just horrific. I don't know why they think increased levels of vulgarity and ignorant-based vitriol will make anyone agree with them, but they're complaining at me for painting them in a bad light, and then immediately, within some of these same comments, saying some of the most disgusting things I've ever seen, and I'm gonna read them out. Please don't hate me for reading these things out. These are other people's words, and I'm just doing my thing. So I had left a comment on somebody else's comment saying, "It's sickening. The language they use is some of the most pathetic stuff I've ever seen. I'm constantly laughing at the fact that incels think women rule the world and life is easy for them. Meanwhile, rad femmes think patriarchy rules the world and life is easy for men. When are they gonna realize it's neither?" Yeah, right. Girls start cutting from just one Chad leaving her, even when she still has many orbiters. Get emo from not being able to pick and choose the right orbiter. A girl in my building roped because of one of her orbiter's boyfriends did whatever and left her. Imagine how quickly she'd rope if she never had a boyfriend at all. No orbiters, nobody ever gave her any attention, and nobody ever gave a fuck about her feelings. Her life is already easier than mine in many ways, and she roped. Do you see how when this stuff is read out, it barely makes any sense at all? It's really hard to read out loud because of just how little fucking sense it makes. Also, if this is the case, buddy, then why is the male suicide rate higher than the female suicide rate? Do your research, mate. There's literally an epidemic going on in places like the UK with male suicide. It's horrific. You are so ignorant and wrong. It's shocking. So, incels, why do you think women's lives are easier than men's? Have you not looked at the research and the statistics and everything that's ever been done on this to show that women are still in many places treated as a minority class, have less statutory rights and laws protecting them? Yeah, it's pretty good in the West, but you go anywhere in the Middle East, you guys wouldn't last a day in a woman's shoes. This guy from Swansea was really desperate to leave his point. She took the coward's way out because she feared being found guilty of domestic violence, shaking my head. Don't call it the coward's way out. You fucking sick, disgusting little twisted little shit. Have some respect and some decency. You know how many people in your own community tragically take their own lives? And you're saying it's the coward's way out. Suicide is not something to be spoken about in such terms. Just have some compassion, please. If you want people to have compassion for you, you first need to show it to them. It's really not that hard to understand. Get what you're saying. I just don't get the term incel. It means involuntary celibate. I know gay men, married men, and even some women who fit that definition for a number of reasons. I comment. It's just a pathetic way they self-label themselves. Makes no sense anyway. They could just pay for a hooker. Then this guy reveals, no, he is actually an incel. Paying for a hooker wouldn't provide intimacy or validation. Why would you pay for sex with someone who most likely would have contempt and disgust for you? He's too much of an airhead to put any thought into his words. It's not me who's making everything about sex, guys. It's you guys who are labeling yourselves incel, involuntary celibate. Ergo, you are obsessing so heavily about sex, You are making it something that you label yourselves with. Somebody who is not able to have sex. So that's why I'm making it all about sex for you guys. It doesn't seem like you're looking for validation or intimacy or compassion from someone else when you won't give that to anyone else. It literally just sounds like you're horny as fuck and you need to get laid. That's all you're ever talking about. That's the only side of yourselves you've shown to the world. Maybe start calling yourself something other than involuntary celibate, incel, and you might get some more compassion from other people. No sympathy for sim-faced roasties. Her face was symmetrical and she was a rich and high-value human specimen. Stop talking about people in this way. They're not items, they're not objects, they're not houses. They're human lives. This is your first mistake. She was even fucking Chad's after smashing into the wall. Suicide is only badass if you're ugly and can't afford facial surgery, have medical problems and cannot afford treatment, or are surrounded by the cops and don't want to be captured alive. Suicide is never badass, you absolute giant dick bag. And those examples are completely toxic and twisted. You see what I mean? These incels, in this own wording here, is basically encouraging people who aren't good looking or encouraging school shooters to kill themselves. And this is all so twisted and fucking insane. Your obsession with suicide and death is fucked up. Your way of talking about people is so inherently, morally wrong. I laugh when people who are rich and have symmetrical faces die, especially femoids. I will have sympathy for them when society has sympathy for me, and facial surgery for men with minor disfigurements is covered by healthcare and insurance in America. You only care about America, you don't care about anyone other than yourself, and you're only going to have sympathy and respect for people when they have respect for you. Why not do it the other way round and see if that gains you a bit of respect and sympathy? Why don't you stop talking and acting like a dickhead if you want people to be nice to you? If you want people to be nice to you, stop treating everyone like a piece of shit, you absolute idiot. Respect my human rights and I'll respect your human life. Facial reconstruction surgery isn't a human right. What are you on about? It's not a right to fuck somebody. You don't have the right to fuck other people. That's not a right. That's a privilege that every human being has the right to give to other human beings. Until then, I laugh when good-faced and wealthy people die and suffer, and yet you want people to treat you nicely. You want people to not laugh and have some compassion and respect when people like yourself do these things. Why? Why do you do this? Can you not see the hypocrisy in your words? Can you really not see the hypocrisy? Lol, if you really want to disprove us incels, then you should attack our core ideology, the black pill, and not some incels being assholes, because that doesn't really mean much. So I looked up black pill theory. You believe in black pill theory, you believe in fate, predetermined destiny. There's no use arguing against belief and religious thinking. Once you black pill yourself, you're in a cult, buddy. Abandon your current mindset and it will stop applying to you. Never heard of a self-fulfilling prophecy? Literally, black pill theory is just a way of brainwashing other men into the incel community and into the really deep sects of it, where they do start to think and feel and act in these horrific ways. And as far as I can tell, it's a suicide cult. I'm going to compare it to the bite model in an upcoming video, and we'll see what happens. I believe in genetic determinism, yes, especially lots of things to do with looks theory. Things like looksism and halo effect are things that are proven to be true, you know. Not everything incels say is straight up lies. There are some truths. I'm assuming you mean lookism, and yes, lookism theory and things like that have been quite heavily proven. Some of these things have been proven, some of them have been massively discredited. So there's lies and truths mixed in with half-truths, and the point is, if you believe all of it, you're throwing yourself willingly into what is simply a cult. If you decide to believe every single one of these things, then seriously, your chance at success going forwards and changing your ability to be an incel and improve yourself as a human and have a loving, fulfilling relationship with somebody is basically going to become zero. You're ruining your own chances at self-improvement. Why? Why do this to yourself? This comment is really long, poorly written, and boring, and the actual point of it is quite short. So I'm just going to read out the actual point of the comment. I'll show the entire comment in its, hilarity so you can see all of it for yourself. But what he's actually saying is, you've purposely gone out of your way to find this forum and an inflammatory thread in order to create content which is ultimately disingenuous. There will always be people angry and bitter about something which others have, and they do not. I'm not sure why you're wasting your time seeking out those people and then inflaming the issue further by making out that this community is much larger than it actually is and that it's a real threat to society. Right. I'm not saying they're a real threat to society. I'm saying they're a threat to themselves. Secondly, the content isn't disingenuous. This is one of the largest incel forums on the internet, if not the largest. It receives hundreds, if not thousands of hits per hour. You can go on it and there will literally be a fresh post made every 2 or 3 minutes, and each of these posts can receive upwards of hundreds of comments. This is a very, very popular forum. I am not being disingenuous. The tags that they use to tag the forum posts are things like life fuel, suicide fuel. Your own point is being incredibly disingenuous. And yes, of course I'm making this for content. Of course I'm making this to get views. That's what YouTube is, you dumbass. This guy's a douche to them when he claims to have been one. I don't know about him, but if I used to be one, I would talk about them, but I'd call them out in a passive way, not an insulting way, since he knows the demographic of people he is dealing with because he used to be a part of this community. Learn punctuation. Yes, that's exactly why I'm calling them out in an inflammatory manner, because I know they respond to that. And I still feel an incredible amount of sympathy and compassion for anybody that considers themselves an incel. It's a horrific state of being to be within. Be you a true cell or a mind cell or a haiku cell or whatever kind of incel you want to call yourselves, it is a horrific mind state to be in. But ultimately, it's a mindset and you can change it. If Ricky fucking Berwick, if Daddy Longneck, if Gucci Berry can get laid, then what is your excuse? If they can have fulfilling relationships with other human beings, then what is your excuse? Why should I feel for some high-life post-war woman? She had everything and still killed herself. They will never put an incel in Love Island or any of these reality TV shows anyway. If you won't feel sorry for somebody else, why should anyone feel sorry for you? It goes both ways. Grow the fuck up. What a loser this YouTuber is. So stupid. But why does it bother you, Chad? Bet you lurk there to feel good about yourself. No, trust me, I have spent literally all of 1 hour on that forum, and that's it. I'm never going back on it because it made me really upset and feel a little bit sick inside. It reminded me of far too many of my own negative thoughts, far too much of my own past, and it genuinely made me just quite upset. I highly doubt you were a true cell. You were a Chadlite in disguise. If you were one, you would be bashing them this hard. Wouldn't be bashing them this hard? Why not? Have you not seen your own mannerisms, your own way of attacking people? Yeah, I spent far too much time on 4chan when I was younger, and it's made me a bit of a dickhead. Deal with it. You guys are dicks as well. Seriously, guys, I find these comments quite upsetting. You're sick of us, right? What if we committed suicide? Would you feel bad about it like you felt about her? What do you mean? Like, first of all, what is this use of the royal we? Do you mean, what if I committed suicide? Yes. If any individual member of the incel community committed suicide, yes, I would genuinely feel bad for them. I'd feel bad for their friends. I'd feel bad for their family. As stated before, I feel bad for anyone that is going through thoughts and feelings of suicidality because it fucking sucks worse than anything else. Nothing is more debilitating and damaging to your own life and your own sense of self-esteem than on a daily basis wanting to end it. Trust me, I get it. Love this guy saying he's not one of the incel communities, whilst coming across quite simply as the hardest incel of the bunch. I'm not even part of any incel community, but sure, I'll defend it. Normies and foids should be laughed at when bad things happen to them because you don't believe incel struggles. Except I do. You'll only laugh at it and strawman it by making retarded YouTube videos about some simpleton stuff someone said, and then you'll conveniently avoid any black pill fact or that anything is wrong with women or society. Except I don't. I have made countless videos talking about the legal discrepancies and the inequalities that men face when it comes to, court sentencings in the US and the UK. I have made so you guys don't know me at all. Go watch my poop news playlist and then come back to me with that argument. Go on, try it. Because you're wrong. There's no such thing as black pill facts. They're black pill theories. You'll believe in the just world hypothesis, and women are wonderful effect, hence there must be something wrong with every single incel and there's no way to communicate. Wrong again! To you, women are the arbiters of what's good in the world. Buddy! So I'm always going to laugh at anything that happens to you and not believe a single one of your life stories. Okay then. That's fine. I don't care. You're such a dumbass. So, members of the incel community, I hope you feel I've sufficiently answered all your questions. If you don't think I've done enough, then, like I say, hit me up. Don't just leave vitriolic, hate-filled comments in the comment section. Or do if you want. I don't really care. They're funny either way. Don't think it's possible for you guys to hurt my feelings. It's hard to have your feelings hurt by somebody that you know you're better than. But that's not to say that one day you couldn't be a better person than me. You can all change. You can all improve. All of us can. Thank you so much for joining me on this one, guys. If you like this, please don't forget to hit subscribe. Maybe hit that notification bell, because otherwise hitting subscribe doesn't seem to do much. Drop me a comment, because I always reply. And I will catch you next time. Peace.